Since then, Adelphi has scored 4, and Southern Connecticut State has scored 1. Here's the 1-0. That ball is hit into center field. Coming on to grab that one is Ainge. He cannot. That one is going to fall in for a base hit. 2 runs will come in to score. Ryan and Cooper Johnson. A 2-run single for Matt Alifano, and the lead now is 19-5. So Ainge was unable to grab that one as it was hit into the gap. And on 12 hits, 19 runs have been scored. And Alifano, right now, has a total of 6 RBIs in this game alone. And it looks as if that Fideli had to grab that one. It was a chopper directly in front of the plate. Almost looked like a bunt, but it was not. And Anthony Cipri is done in that regard. A 1-3 for the 3rd out of the inning. Boy, where do we start here? 4 runs are scored on 3 hits, no errors, and 2 runners left on base. Let's head to the top of the 8th, folks, shall we? It is 19-5 in favor of Adelphi University. Right here from William J. Bonoma Memorial Field, you're watching this exclusive presentation of a slugfest here in favor of Adelphi University, right here on any10now.tv. We'll be right back on the opposite side of this break. Do not go away. Two, three, four hitters due up when we return for Southern Connecticut State. And it looks as if that we are going to be getting a pinch hitter, and it is going to be junior 3rd baseman Eric Ross. And 32 is the number coming in here for Peyton Farina. And he is going to be the pinch hitter. A little bit about Eric Ross, 6'2", 205-pound, Montville, Connecticut native. Last season, he appeared in 2 contests against Queens College. He went 0 for 1. That was in his last appearance of the COVID-19 shortened season. And in the contest before that, in his first appearance of the 2020 season, was against the now defunct NYIT Bears, New York Tech Bears, which is a very sad story to tell, but we'll do that later on. And when they were in the East Coast Conference. Since then, NYIT has shut down their athletic operations, or a lot of people that we know. That ball is chopped right to the pitcher, and Andrew Williams for the first out. And now that's going to bring up the center fielder, Andrew Ainge, who really has seen his fair share of home runs with 2. And not really his fault, as that one is sky high, and a no-doubter looking up, and that ball is gone. Andrew Ainge with a booming home run, and not even having to move was Tim Feliz. My goodness, what a shot into right field. And with that home run, the lead for Adelphi is now down 19-6. Yeah, that one was a no-doubter, folks, for those that could see from home. And Tim Feliz, they saw that. Home plate umpire threw the ball right back. It was very evident that that ball was a goner. And it looks as if that we are going to see another pinch hitter here for Southern Connecticut State, and that's going to be sophomore catcher Kevin Lucy, who last year he only came in as a defensive replacement. This one is grounded to Cypri. Good for Warwick. That is a 4-3 for the aforementioned Lucy. And it looks as if that we've got another pinch hitter in junior outfielder Jared Smith, and that one is bounced directly to Andrew Williams, and that will do. So for the 1-3, that one is going to do it. And following at one point, or it was a short top of the 8th rather, 1 run, 1 hit. That was Andrew Ainge's booming shot into right field. No errors, no runners left on base. Let's go into the bottom of the 9th. We assume that we figure that there will probably be some changes, but who knows? If that's not the case, the 3-4-5 hitters due up. Feliz, Becker, Matos due up when we return on any10now.tv. 19-6 is the score, and it looks as if also we will see a call to the bullpen by head coach Tim Shea. We'll be right back on the opposite side of this break. So we discussed in the last game about how head coach Dom Scala is not really one for the dual position in terms of pitching and the position player. But that's not the case with head coach Tim Shea, because now he has made a call to the bullpen, And he has summoned someone that actually was the designated hitter in Isaiah Walker. So let's go through what Isaiah Walker has done on the mound. And last season, he made his NCAA debut on the mound and, in general, his debut against Queens on March 7th. 1 1/3 innings of work, 2 hits, a walk in total of 22 pitches. But this afternoon, in the batter's box, he hit a double in 4 total plate appearances, a walk, a hit by a pitch, and a fly ball into right field. And we will give you the exact ruling here, not even the ruling, as we see Tim Feliz fly ball into center field. And we do have a ton of changes here. Thank you to our good friend Ian Schreier, who just sent us everything here. So it looks as if that the left fielder, Zambito, is now at second base. Looks like Eric Ross is in left field. Kevin Lucy is now doing the catching. And it looks as if that Jared Smith is now in right field. And obviously now with the pitcher, who was the designated hitter, they now lose the designated hitter, and also the second baseman in Zach Bedrzyk is now at third base. So if you can get all of that, folks, that is pretty good. So we'll definitely have to most likely update you on all of that shortly. So we want to thank our good friend Ian Schreier for that one, because that is fantastic that he was able to send that all to us in a timely manner and be able to get everything complete. Tyler Becker is now on here. Count being 2-2. So just to update everybody once again, is that Bedrzyk now at third. And we'll give you the updated line in just a minute. Tyler Becker works a walk in the the bottom of the 8th inning. And Jose Matos, 4 runs scored, 5 total plate appearances, 3 walks, a hit out into left field that was ruled an error on the then left fielder, Zambito. And really right now, only 2 guys that head coach Tim Shea has left in place is Andrew Ainge and Isaiah Diaz. Or excuse me, Tyshawn Diaz. That ball sent into center field. Andrew Ainge on it. And he grabs that one, trying to block the sun out of his eyes for the second out. And it looks as if that we are going to be getting a pinch hitter. And it looks as if that we're getting very close with our home plate umpire friend Nick Thull here, who always signals to us, which really is fantastic. Sophomore catcher Henry Friedrich comes in, the Rye, New York native, against St. Thomas Aquinas in game number 2. He had 1 plate appearance with a walk. And he comes from an athletic family. where his brother Carl Jr., and I may have said that a little wrong. His father, Carl Sr., no one wants to think Carl's Jr., but Carl Sr. has played men's soccer and lacrosse at Union College. His brother, Carl Jr., played men's soccer at Franklin and Marshall, and his sister Hannah played women's soccer at Haverford. So might as well just get the core four, if you will, in terms of the athletic family, where all four have at one time or currently play sports. 19-6 in favor of Adelphi. This is Friedrich at the dish. He did not play last season, so his collegiate debut, was last Saturday in Game 2. That ball is hit right off of the glove of Walker, and Diaz throws that one out directly to Healy. Well, that one is going to be a 6-3. Well, last licks coming up for Southern Connecticut State as they are in a 13-run hole, 19-6 in favor of Adelphi University. Well, we'll get you back, and we're not even going to go into the batting order because who knows what else is going to change. We'll be back on the opposite side of this break. Do not go away. Top of the ninth due up when we return. The Adelphi University Department of Athletics is pleased to announce the launch of its new online store, www.adelphipanthersgear.com. Through a partnership with Advanced Online and Follett, Adelphi Panthers Gear features a wide range of clothing and merchandise featuring all of Adelphi's new branding marks. Parents, alumni, and students can enjoy all these items through a secure online ordering site and have the items shipped directly to their door within 5 business days. Check out Adelphi Panthers Gear today. Once again, that's www.adelphipanthersgear.com. 19-12-1 in favor of Adelphi, 6-7-2 for Southern Connecticut State University. Right now on the mound is number 25, Stephen Proko, sophomore right-handed pitcher. Head coach Dom Scala makes his, we figure, or we hope so, final call to the bullpen. Bayville, New York native, Holy Cross High School. Last time around, against St. Thomas Aquinas in Game 1, he threw a total of 19 pitches, allowed 3 walks. And last season, in only one game played against Stonehill, which was their last 2 games of the shortened COVID-19 season, he had 1 full inning of work. He gave up a run, a hit, and a strikeout in the official last game of the season last year. So with a bunch of changes, it looks as if that there are a bunch of changes here that we see, and we will get that to you in just a quick moment. It looks as if that obviously we do see Henry Friedrich, who did pinch hit. He is now doing the catching duties. And that ball is a fly ball into center field. 1 away. And that one was Healy. So now the pitcher will be batting. So Ryan Picarello at first base. as well as Alex Rendy taking over at shortstop for Tyler Becker. Everyone else for right now looks to be the same. Isaiah Walker, who, as we did say, is pitching and hitting, so the designated hitter is gone for the remainder of the game. One out, top of the ninth inning, 19-6. So we brought up earlier about head coach Dom Scala and what we spoke to him about. And his biggest thing, that was the first thing that he said when he answered the phone, was Adelphi baseball is not built to be embarrassed. And I had asked him also about the trips to switch pitchers, and he did it a whole lot in the last game where I believe it was 6 or 7 different pitchers, and I think at times there were 8 different pitchers. And I asked him, I said, is this something that we expect to see? Because the numbers indicate that things are not doing great on the mound. And he said, quote, can we see if these guys are capable of doing it? Which is a rough and a brutally honest answer, because at times when you look at the score from last week, a combined 21-5, 9-2 in the first game and 12-3, can your pitchers come in to do the work? And we asked him about the relief pitchers, and he said, quote, our relievers have to come in and do the job. It's the mental toughness that has to come in on the mound. And possibly that could have been the issue last week once things went awry. And maybe the pitchers were unable to get their mental toughness ahead of the game. And they had a light practice yesterday. They were off on Thursday. They had an inter-squad game on Tuesday, and every single pitcher on the roster pitched at least 1 inning. And he said, quote, when we asked him about what he expects of this game, actions speak louder than words. We are going to play competitive baseball. And I think his team not only listened to that, and I think he also told them that they will be playing competitive baseball, and a 19-run explosion is pretty good. Proco allows a walk to Tyshawn Diaz. Still 1 out. Zach Bedryzik is due up. We also spoke about, if you're just joining us as well, this is game 1 of 2 on the afternoon. Tomorrow's doubleheader is postponed and will be made up April 8th and April 14th, respectively. You will have me on April 14th if everything still stands and weather is still okay, which is, we are hoping that is the case. They check the runner at first, being Friedrich. And Piccarello standing off the bag there. So we are approaching over 3 hours of game number 1. Count being 1-2 on Bedryzik. Ball's in the dirt. Friedrich is able to handle that one. Walker at second. Tyshawn Diaz at first. Counts full at 3-2. Tony Zambito is on deck, the new second baseman. He was playing in left field for a good chunk of the day. And Proko walks Bedrzyk, and now the bases are loaded. So 2 consecutive walks issued by Steven Proko. And that's going to bring up Tony Zambito with the bases loaded with 1 out. Pitch outside, count 1-0. Ahead in the count is Proko. Walker at third, Diaz at second, Bedrzyk at first. Zambito at the dish. Friedrich behind the plate. Proko on the mound. Here's the 1-2. Fastball upstairs. Outside, count runs full. Proko in danger of walking in a run. With the bases loaded, nowhere to put Zambito. 1 swing at the bat. Could end this game for Adelphi. And instead, Zambito works a walk. And Southern Connecticut State tallies their 7th run as the score of this contest is now 19-7. Trip out to the mound. Now the left fielder, Eric Ross. Now steps in. Count 1-0. Steven Proko having a little bit of an issue with placement right now. Ball's a called strike. The sophomore right-handed pitcher. When he was in high school, he was a top 100 selection in 2019 by Newsday. He's an Access Baseball preseason all Long Island pitcher. He's majoring in business as well. On the flip side for Eric Ross in the dish, majoring in accounting. Count runs full, 3-2. Bases remain loaded. Diaz at third, Bedrzyk at second, Zambito at first. Top of the ninth inning. Last licks for Southern Connecticut. And Eric Ross works a walk. And we'll see if head coach Dom Scala, and it looks as if that Henry Friedrich will head out to the mound, and it looks as if that head coach Dom Scala will as well. And it looks as if that we will see a pitching change for Adelphi. It is 19-8 is the score. Head coach Dom Scala makes a call to the bullpen. We'll be right back on the opposite side of this break. 19-8 is your score in favor of Adelphi. 1 out. Head coach Dom Scala makes a call to the bullpen with his team in front, 19-8. He summons sophomore right-handed pitcher Chris Price-Stupa, who in the last game against St. Thomas Aquinas, he registered 1 inning pitched, or 1 inning of work, a walk, a strikeout, and 23 pitches. And coincidentally, for a lot of these players, it was their their NCAA debut, because in 2020 they did not play due to the shortened campaign due to COVID-19. Counts 2-0 right now. And that ball is sent into right field. That will fall in for a base hit. That is Feliz at the wall. Coming in to score is Zambito and Bedrzyk. Eric Ross is heading to third. And the lead for Adelphi is now down to 19-10. And that will bring up sophomore catcher Kevin Lucy. Last season he was in there for defensive replacements at Queens, the last game of the season for him. And then on February 22nd at the aforementioned defunct NYIT Bears, made a pinch hitting appearance, 0 for 1 with a strikeout at the time. North Haven, Connecticut native. Eric Ross at third, Ainge at second, Kevin Lucy at the dish. 19-10 is the score, 29 total runs. That ball is sent into center field. Going onto the warning track is Cooper Johnson. Tagging is Eric Ross. He will score. And Adelphi's lead continues to get smaller, where Southern Connecticut State has scored their 11th run. Adelphi now leads 19-11. Runner moves up. Ainge at third, but 2 away in this 5-run top of the 9th inning, as their comeback is far from over. It's going to bring up the right fielder, Jared Smith. That ball is sent directly to the shortstop, and that should do it. It does. So Alex Rendy grabs that last one, and Adelphi stops and breaks their 4-game losing streak. 19-11 in favor of Adelphi at the end of Game 1. Game number 2, as we just heard from head coach Tom Scala, will come underway in roughly 25 minutes. Your final stat line here, folks, 19-12-1 for Adelphi, 11-9-2 for Southern Connecticut State. The ones left on base, Southern Connecticut has left 12 runners on base, while Adelphi left a total of 8. 19-11 is your final score. We'll be back in roughly 25 minutes for game number 2. For a recap of this contest and a replay of this contest, log on to any10now.tv, but please come back in 25 minutes for game number 2 as Nicholas Luke and Zach Rogers do battle on the mound when we return in just a few minutes right here on any10now.tv. Adelphi with the 19-11 Game 1 victory here from William J. Bonomo Memorial Field. Game 2 of 2 from William J. Bonomo Memorial Field right here on the campus of Adelphi University. Adelphi took Game 1 by a score of 19-11. That one was a slugfest offensively, a combined 30 runs, 31 hits, total of three errors, and a combined 20 runners left on base. And if you looked at every single score sheet for those that are keeping score at home, it would be an absolute mess. But the good things are that did happen in the contest was Tyler Becker, who was able to get on the board with a pair of home runs, not only to lead off an inning, but also a two-run shot to straightaway center field beyond the likes of Andrew Eng, the center fielder for Southern Connecticut State University. Hello again, everyone, and welcome to William J. Bonomo Memorial Field, home of the Adelphi University Panthers. I'm Joey Jarzinka. We are coming to you live on Any10Now.TV for game number 2 of 2 this afternoon. The reason why, unfortunately, we will not be coming to you live tomorrow is because of the inclement weather anticipated for Long Island. And the two games that are going to be replacing the two tomorrow are on April 8th and April 14th. Both are slated to have a first pitch at 3:30 p.m. So let's get you the lineups first for the visiting Southern Connecticut State Owls. Tony Zambito leading off the designated hitter. Zach Bedrzyk playing second base. Andrew Ainge in center field batting third. Mike Ferret back in the cleanup hole playing third base, batting fourth. Jack Drury playing first base. Peyton Farina in right field. Tyshawn Diaz in his spot at 7. As shortstop, Eric Ross playing left field. Josh Wetman, the catcher, in for Mike DiMartino. And Nicholas Luke on the mound. We are underway in game number 2 of 2 here from William J. Bonomo Memorial Field. And we look at the defensive alignment for the Adelphi Panthers from left to right. Gavia in left, center field Cooper Johnson, Tim Feliz in right. And the infield from third base all around, Matt Alifano at third. Shortstop is Tyler Becker, second base Anthony Cipri, and first base Jack Ryan. And doing the catching duties is the designated hitter in last game, but now doing the catching duties here today is Jose Matos. Nicholas Luke is on the mound for the Panthers, and in the last game we were together for that one, and it was not really a great outing. And in the last game, Tom Ambrosino, he had a problem with his elbow. He immediately called head coach Dom Scala, and he then summoned right-handed pitcher Josh Rovner, who then came in relief. And from what head coach Dom Scala has said, is that a lot of their pitchers, they need to figure things out, and basically he has no problem emptying out the bullpen in order to find the right guy, or in his exact words, he really believes that they're going to be in for a challenge, and, quote, our relievers have to come in and do the job. It's the mental toughness that has to come in on the mound. So one down, as we see a strikeout from Zambito for the first out. Bedrzyk is now due up in the number 2 hole, the second baseman. We want to also mention that last year, in the shortened COVID-19 season, Bedrzyk was the team's leading hitter. If you're just joining us also in the last game, with what Bedrzyk did do, he was 0 for 2 with an RBI, 2 walks, and a run scored. Was hit by a pitch. He grounded to the third baseman Alifano. With Matos behind the plate, Warwick gets the second game off. Jack Ryan goes from catcher to first base. The remainder of the infield stays the same. Only difference is the catcher, first baseman, and the pitcher, of course. One down here. Bedrzyk takes that one, count 2-1. Nicholas Luke, the Farmingdale native, comes in with a 7.56 ERA, ranks 5th in the NE10 with 12 strikeouts. His win-loss record 1-1 and 8 and a third innings pitched this season. That one's fouled back, just right by our cameras. Andrew Ainge doing his thing and grabbing that for the home plate umpire, being Bob Cardinal. Here's the 2-2 from Luke. That one is headed into center field and caught there by Cooper Johnson for the second out. That's going to bring up the center fielder, Andrew Ainge, who in the last game, even though it didn't really, I don't want to call it didn't matter, but a booming home run into right field that made Tim Feliz just not even move. And that one was in the 8th inning when the game was very far out of reach. But we do have to give credit where credit is due. And Southern Connecticut State did a fantastic job by scoring 7 total runs in the 7th, 8th, and 9th inning, respectively. 1 run in the 7th, 1 run in the 8th, and a 5-run outburst when relief pitcher Steven Proko, unfortunately, was unable to get the job done. So with two down, now Nicholas Luke behind in the count, 3-0. Andrew Ainge with 3 RBIs in the last game. That one is fouled back directly into the chest protector of Jose Matos. 3 RBIs, 2 strikeouts, 2 hits, a run as well, and 5 total plate appearances. The 3-1. Swung on and missed. Andrew Ainge counts full 3-2. Andrew Ainge making his debut with the Southern Connecticut State Owls, and Ainge works a walk just before this season, and in a couple of seasons past. Ainge had originally committed to Binghamton in the America East and has now dropped a division to Division II. But that's going to bring up the third baseman, Mike Ferret, who in the last game was batting a little bit farther down in the lineup, only 1 spot as the third baseman, but with Mike DiMartino going down, Mike Ferret and the remainder of the Southern Connecticut State lineup had to move up a bit. That ball is hit into right field. No, it is not. It's actually grabbed there by Jack Ryan. It looked as if that it was going to be a blooper into right, but Jack Ryan comes on and grabs that one as we head into the bottom half of the first inning. So with a pop out to first base, no runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 runner is left on base, we head to the home half of the first inning. Alifano, Ryan, Feliz due up when we return on any10now.tv. Zeros across the board. The Adelphi University Department of Athletics is pleased to announce its partnership with My Three Sons Bagel Cafe, adding a new location on Nassau Boulevard to go along with their 2 existing locations on Franklin and Covert Avenue. Not only do they specialize in hand-rolled bagels and assorted breakfast items such as pancakes and French toast, but they have a wide variety of homemade cream cheese and salad spreads. My Three Sons egg sandwiches are the talk of the town, and they always have a fresh pot of coffee brewing. My Three Sons Bagel Cafe, a one-stop shop on your way to work. End of the top of the first inning. We head to the bottom home half of the first inning with Adelphi due up. Alfano, Ryan, and Feliz due up. And as we did bring up earlier, the gray uniforms that we had heard was not really a home uniform is now happening again. So 2 consecutive games with that gray uniform. You figure you win by a score of 19-11. You don't break what's not broken. On the mound, junior right-handed pitcher Zach Rogers from Parrish, Florida, Manatee High School, St. Michael's. And in 2020, in a shortened COVID-19 season, 22 1/3 innings pitched. He allowed 23 hits, 16 runs, 15 of them were earned, and 26 strikeouts. He did allow 3 doubles and 3 booming home runs, and unfortunately his ERA did end off a bit higher than expected at a 6.04. That ball is fouled down the right field line and just on top of the bullpen of Adelphi. So looking at the defensive alignment for Southern Connecticut State from left to right, Ross, Ainge, Farina. In the infield, Ferret, Diaz, Bedrizik, Drury. And on the mound is Rogers. Doing the catching duties is Josh Wetman. We did bring up earlier about Mike DiMartino, who is their leading catcher and one of their leaders in the clubhouse. And unfortunately, what happened in the last game was that he was plunked by Tom Ambrosino down in the shin area, and it looked like that it did miss his shin pad, and he was limping to first base, tried to walk it off, unfortunately was unable to do that, and then trotting down to second base following a hit from the aforementioned third baseman Mike Ferret. He was down on the knee, and unfortunately he was unable to put pressure on the ankle, so we presume that he would not be returning for the remainder of this day. That ball is lined directly to Ferret for the first out of the bottom half of the inning. So we did bring up Mike Ferret on the offensive side of things, but defensively, clearly, he's able to grab that booming shot from Alfano for the first out. So for those scoring at home, we'll give that an L5, and that's going to bring up the first baseman, Jack Ryan, who, as we did say, has been switching off between catcher and first base, and that ball is sent into left field, and that's going to fall in for a base hit, and it looks as if that the shortstop in Tyshawn Diaz, it looks like maybe it might have hit his glove or maybe hit his hand, and they're trying to make sure that he is okay. Head coach Tim Shea is out there, and it looks as if that he is okay. He's good, maybe just a stinger. As that ball did go into left field, but it looks to us that will be deemed a hit. And it might have been just off of the wrist of Diaz. We'll give you some statistics in a little while about Jack Ryan, but that's going to bring up the right fielder, Tim Feliz, who had 2 hits in the last game, both out to center field. He was 2 for 6 in the last contest. Hit into a 1-6-3 double play to end the first inning of Game 1. He had a fly ball into left field. He also popped up to Bedrizik, who was and is still playing second base in Game 2. So Tim Feliz, the right fielder right now, with a 1-1 count. Uniforms for Southern Connecticut are the same as for the Panthers are the same as well. Rogers checks the runner at first, being Jack Ryan. That one is hit over the glove of Zach Bedryzik, and that one's going to fall in for a base hit, but Bedryzik does retrieve that baseball in shallow right field, and everyone will be safe. So Ryan is now at second base, while Feliz is at first, and that's going to bring up the cleanup hitter in shortstop Tyler Becker, and really what he did in the last game was he made a difference. He first started off with an error defensively, and that made 3 errors in 3 games for him. And head coach Dom Scala did speak about how his team was unable to do the fundamentals pitching-wise, defensive-wise, and on the base path. And he needed for that to change. He also did say that his team was, quote, not aggressive enough at the plate. It's that simple, end quote. Safe to say that Tyler Becker was able to take full advantage of that as he broke the game wide open with 2 home runs, one of which being a solo and the other one being a 2-run shot. That one is going to go in for a base hit. Here comes Jack Ryan coming in to score, and he will be in there safely as Adelphi takes a 1-0 lead early on in the bottom of the first. Jack Ryan coming around second base, and with Tyler Becker doing a fantastic job in the batter's box, he continues his scalding hot day at the plate. So an RBI single for Tyler Becker will bring up now Jose Matos with runners on the corners. Feliz at third, Becker at first. Matos was 0 for 2 with 4 runs, 2 walks, so 4 total plate appearances. Here's the 0-1 from Rogers. Instead, he checks the runner at first. Here's the 0-1. That ball is sent directly to Diaz. He flips that one over to Bedryzik. On to first for the double play. That's a 6-4-3 double play to end the inning here at Adelphi. So we head into the top of the second inning after 1 full inning of work. 1 run on 3 hits, no errors, and 2 runners left on base. Let's go to the top of the second. Drury, Farina, Diaz, the 5, 6, 7 hitters due up for Southern Connecticut State when we return on Any10Now.tv. Adelphi ahead 1-0. The Adelphi University Department of Athletics is pleased to announce its partnership with Jersey Mike's Subs. The franchise has added a new location on the corner of Nassau and Jericho Turnpikes to go along with their 2 existing locations in Carl Place and Uniondale. At Jersey Mike's, they offer a sub above one that's measured in more than inches or seconds till served. They carefully consider every aspect of what they do. Every slice, every sandwich, every store, they provide their customers with sustenance and substance too. Jersey Mike's, a sub above. Back here at the top of the second inning from William J. Bonomo Memorial Field, I'm Joey Jarzinka. Cannot thank you all enough for spending your Saturday with us here. Game 2 of 2 from Garden City. And in the first game, if you are just joining us, 19-11 was the final score in favor of the Adelphi University Panthers. That win, folks, did snap a 4-game losing streak for head coach Dom Scala and his Panthers, and I'm sure that that must feel good. We will be speaking to him following this game, and make sure to stay on your computers or your phones or wherever you're watching on, because we will definitely be speaking to him following this contest. Count being 1-0 right now for Jack Drury as he's in the dish. Here's the 1-0 from Luke. That ball is sent opposite field, left field, and that one is going to be foul. And Nick Gavia nearly flew out his body, or threw out his body, if you will. He was flailing his arms on that one. But with the count at 1-1, Farina on deck. Ball sent to Ryan. Ryan throws it to Luke for the 3-1 for the first out. That's going to bring up the right fielder in Peyton Farina, who in the last game was in the 2-hole. He started off the game with a pair of strikeouts swinging, and he actually hit an aforementioned 3-1 in the 4th inning of last game. And then he had two more plate appearances, one of which being a walk and the other being a 1-3 putout. So signaling bunt is Farina. Change up high. That one roughly high as well. Count is 2-1. Umpires in this contest are all the same, just shifted around a little bit. Bob Cardinal behind the plate, Michael Maliff. Or excuse me, rather, Michael Maliff is behind the plate. Bob Cardinal at first, and Nick Thull at third base. And it looks as if that we do see the runner head to first. And that's going to bring up Tyshawn Diaz. He takes the first pitch for a called strike. Jose Mato speaking with Nicholas Luke. Probably trying to figure out location and placement. Peyton Farina was thinking about going on that one. The 1-2 from Luke. Ball's outside. Luke checks the runner at first, and just a tiny bit high. Jack Ryan was able to grab that one. Swung on and missed. And down on strikes goes Tyshawn Diaz. But the runner at first base, being Farina, does get to second base. So following that strikeout, there are 2 away, and that's going to bring up the left fielder, Eric Ross, who in the last game had 1 plate appearance. And actually, and as we did bring up earlier, his collegiate debut at the plate. Worked a walk and scored a run as well. Count 0-1. Oh, and 2. Farina at second. And for those that, again, are just joining us, we'll get you that in just a second, actually. But Eric Ross foul tips that one. And for those that don't know also that, and for the Southern Connecticut State avid followers that are watching this broadcast, they know that there are 5 players missing, either key reserves or key players. I personally do not know which ones. We were not told, we're not allowed to know due to COVID-19 protocols that they are in, those aforementioned 5 players. So they are down a good chunk of their roster. But with the count being 0-2, we'll see if that next man-up mentality, as per head coach Tim Shea, comes about. Eric Ross swings and a miss on that curveball. My goodness. Swing and a miss. Down on strikes goes Eric Ross. Following the top of the second inning, we head to the bottom half, the home half of the second inning. In the top half, though, no runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 runner left on base. Draskin, Johnson, Gavia due up when we return. It's going to be the 6, 7, 8 hitters due up when we return on any10now.tv. Adelphi University still with a 1-0 lead. One nothing in favor of Adelphi University here at William J. Bonomo Memorial Field, home of the Panthers, as they play game number 2 of 2 this afternoon against the Southern Connecticut State Owls. And this is the conference opener, as last week in the first 7 games of the schedule for head coach Dom Scala came against non-conference opponents. They concluded their non-conference schedule on a 4-game losing streak at 2-5, with their last 2 games coming against St. Thomas Aquinas in the ECC. And things have completely changed in Game 1, as well as Game number 2 thus far. 1-3-0 right now, and we now see Michael Draskin, the designated hitter, due up. And Cooper Johnson, the center fielder, is on deck. Nick Gavia in the hole. Count is 1-1. Breaking ball fouled toward third. Count is 1-2. And when we spoke to Dom Scala about the performance from last week, I personally want to hear what he has to say after this game and what he thought about game number 1. He has continuously said to us about how defense is key and it all starts on the mound. But he also brings up the fact that, quote, Adelphi baseball is not built to be embarrassed. And it all starts on the mound. And with that being said, it is a pretty strong statement, as Michael Draskin, with a backwards K as he strikes out looking to start the home half of the second. But with a 19-run first game, the hitters came out to play. Breaking ball again, just a tad high. Ball 1. And I think Cooper Johnson is just as... Cooper Johnson was thinking what we were all thinking, that it was a ball, and it was a pretty late call from the home plate umpire. The ball looked like it was fouled back behind home plate. Count 1-2. Swung on and missed. Down on strikes goes Cooper Johnson for the second consecutive strikeout in this inning. Bob Cardinal at first, Nick Thull at third, and Michael Maliff. We just got clarification for that right now, and that brings up the left fielder, Nicholas Gavia. Gavia had 3 walks in 5 plate appearances. He also had a pair of singles as well in a 2-for-2 ball game. A solid offensive outing in game 1 as well. Fastball right down the middle for a called strike. A little smirk on the face of Zach Rogers. And head coach Tim Shea calls him, quote, a quality go-to guy for us, end quote. That ball is a strike. And it looks as if that they actually... So it is a strike, so the scoreboard actually called it a ball. Then they redid it, so it is 1-2 is the count. Here's the 1-2. Inside. Waiting for that call was Josh Wetman, count being 2-2. So we'll see how much this team misses Mike DiMartino as he's calling the pitches from the backstop. And he's not, as Wetman has taken over with the count full 3-2. No one on the base path. On deck, Anthony Cipri, That ball is choppered directly to Bedrzyk with a little bump in there, and he finds Jack Drury for the putout. So, no runs, no hits, no errors, no one left on base. We head to the top of the third inning with the aforementioned 9-1-2 hitters, Wetman, Zambito, and Bedrzyk due up when we return on any10now.tv. Score being 1-0 in favor of Adelphi. Top of the third inning here from William J. Bonomo Memorial Field. Josh Wetman, the catcher, in the box. Nicholas Luke still on the mound. 2 full innings of work complete. And what Wetman was able to do in the last game was able to work a walk and a sacrifice fly into center field to score a pair of runs. Zambito and Farina in the 9th inning. And that was all a part of their 5-run 9th inning attempted comeback. Unfortunately, it was, or fortunately for Adelphi, it was unsuccessful, as Josh Wetman swings and misses there for a called strike. That is the 4th strikeout for Nicholas Luke. Henry Friedrich heading over to give some baseballs to home plate umpire Michael Maliff. And that's going to bring up the top of the order once again. Tony Zambito, who struck out swinging to open up this second game. Zambito, the designated hitter, he went from left field to second base in game 1. The wind beginning to pick up a bit. Figure we are now in the high 50s. We are outside. No press box here at Bonomo Memorial. Wind is blowing in a tiny bit. Actually, no, it's blowing out a little bit. Trying to look at the American flag to our left. Here's the 2-1 from Luke. Signaling bunt right down the middle, and Tony Zambito knew it. Thought he should have had that one. Count 2-2. Nicholas Luke. Ball beyond the reach of Matos. Count is full 3-2. And Zambito works a walk, which brings up the second baseman, Zach Bedryzik. And Bedryzik, as we did bring up a few times earlier in the last game, he was the NE10 Rookie of the Week last year during the week of February 17th, 2020. And in a shortened season, 8 total games played, he started in half of those in 4. He led his team with a .526 batting average, 19 total plate appearances, 10 of those were hits, 7 RBIs, 7 runs. A .609 on-base percentage. Luke checks the runner once again, being Zambito. Zambito, last game in the 4th inning, he stole a base. Jack Ryan, the then catcher, was unable to secure the throw. Down to second. First pitch of the at-bat to Bedryzik is outside. Count 1-0. Checking the runner once again is Luke. This season, the pitching for Adelphi has been statistically ranked one of the worst thus far within the NE10. Runner goes. Matos with the throw. Does he grab him? Yes, he does. And it looks to me as if that is Anthony Cipri with the tag on Zambito. Great job there and great throw from Jose Matos to get Tony Zambito for the second out. Count is 1-1. And it looks as if that head coach Tim Shea is having a word with Nick Thull, and he's not too happy about that call. If only we had instant replay in Division II or even in the NCAA. That ball gets past Jose Matos. Swing and a miss for strike 2 from Zach Bedryzik. He extended his bat on that one. Counts full at 3-2 with 2 out. Zambito was caught stealing at second. Here's the payoff. That one is hit into left field. Going back on the track is Gavia. That one's going to come off the wall. Coming in with a stand-up double is Bedryzik. To give the second base runner, or rather the third base runner, for Southern Connecticut State. And that's going to bring up the center fielder Andrew Ainge. In his first plate appearance, he worked a walk. In the last game, as we did say, he hit a home run into right field, one that He knew that was a clear goner, as did the entire outfield, and that one is a passed ball off of Jose Matos. That one was high, but Bedrzyk moves from second to third. Bedrzyk on third, runner in scoring position. Counts 1-0. Ferret on deck. Swing and a miss. Count 1-1. That ball's fouled back to the bullpen of Southern Connecticut State. That ball went into the dugout underneath the Panthers baseball tarp that is blocking the naked fence. Counts 1-2. Bedrzyk still at third. 2 down. Here's the 1-2. That one is hit into left center field. That one's going back, and that one is gone. Andrew Ainge with his second home run of the afternoon, and he gives the Southern Connecticut State Owls a 2-1 lead. So the score is 2-1 in favor of Southern Connecticut State. Mike Ferret. Is due up in his first appearance. He ended the top of the first with a pop-up to the first baseman, Jack Ryan. Mike Ferret, we also brought up in the first game, 2019 NE10 All-Rookie selection. In 2020, last season, he hit 400, 12 for 30, with a home run, 12 ribbies, and 9 runs scored, with a on-base percentage of .455, and he was even a pitcher, too. 5.06 ERA, 5 1/3 innings of work, 6 hits, 3 earned runs. He did give up a total of 5 regular runs, though. Or he gave up 5 runs, 3 of which were earned. That one is grounded to Becker. And the throw to Ryan is good to go. So the damage is done for Nicholas Luke and the Adelphi Panthers. Off of one swing of the bat, Andrew Ainge makes it a 2-1 ball game. So following the top of the third inning, 2 runs scored off of 2 hits, no errors, and no one left on base. Let's go to the bottom of the third inning with the 9-1-2 hitters, Cipri, Alifano, Ryan, due up when we return on any10now.tv. SCSU up 2-1. 2-1 in favor of Southern Connecticut State University here from William J. Bonomo Memorial Field. And as we did say, off of one pitch can make or break a game. And right now, what it has done is it has broken the lead of Adelphi as Anthony Cipri leads off as the 9-1-2 hitters are underway for Adelphi University. 2-2-0 for Southern Connecticut State, 1-3-0 for Adelphi, as it was originally Nicholas Luke who had retired a whole bunch of batters at first, and really he had 4 strikeouts prior to the home run. And following the double into left field, the home run then came about afterwards. So Mike Ferret with a high throw, but coming down with it was Jack Drury for the first out to lead off the bottom of the third inning. So that will be scored in our books as a 5-3. Matt Alifano, the team's leading hitter. And in the first game, he hit a grand slam to put the bow on top of the game. And as we did say, Tyler Becker was the one to score the most valuable runs. But just to add to it was Alifano in a fantastic contest that featured 2 hits, one of which being obviously the grand slam. He also had 6 RBIs in that contest. 6 RBIs in the contest. So we expect to see some accolades from the Northeast 10 Conference following this series. Here's the 3-0 from Rogers. That ball is taken in there for a called strike. 1 out. 3-1. Bottom of the third inning. Check swing. Did he go? He did not, but it was still a called strike anyway. Count runs full. Jack Ryan on deck. That ball is hit high into the air. Andrew Ainge in dead center field has to move over a tiny bit to his left, but still makes the play. And that's going to bring up the first baseman, Jack Ryan, who in the last game was the catcher. Jack Ryan had 4 runs scored in the last game. He had a total of 6 plate appearances, 2 walks, a hit by pitch, a fly out, but he also had a run scored in this game as well. That makes it 5 runs scored in the 2 games. Ball's high, 2-1. Calling that a strike. So the count 1-2 as opposed to 2-1. We apologize for that. Count is 1-2. Gets past the catcher Wetman. Count 2-2 with 2 outs. Fastball low in the dirt. And good scoop there from Wetman. Count now runs full, 3-2. On deck, Tim Feliz. Here's the payoff from Rogers. Foul back. Keeps his at-bat alive. Base path is empty. That ball is smacked down the left field line, but foul hits the gate in front of the visiting bullpen. That ball goes past Wetman, and Jack Ryan works a walk. That actually, if you add it all up in this contest, that would be 3 walks for him on the day. That brings up Tim Feliz, who was stranded at third base in his last time up, but he did get a single to shallow right field that was eventually picked up by Bedrzyk. He was able to play that. Tim Feliz also previously against St. Thomas Aquinas last weekend, 1 for 4 with an RBI double, a run. And then in the second game, he tended to not have the success that he had in game 1, as that one is flown out directly into left field and caught there easily by Eric Ross for an F7. So that is going to do it in the bottom of the third inning. So no runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 runner stranded on base, and that runner being Jack Ryan. Let's head to the top of the fourth. Get the game's going nice and quick because it is only a 7-inning game, and I probably just jinxed it for everybody listening, and I do apologize to everybody with that. But Jack Drury, Peyton Farina, and Tyshawn Diaz due up when we return on the opposite side of this break on NE10now.tv. Top of the fourth inning we go, and it is a 2-1 ball game in favor of the Southern Connecticut State Owls. Due up is Jack Drury, Peyton Farina, Tyshawn Diaz, with Nick Luke still on the mound. The first pitch of the top of the fourth and the first pitch of the at-bat is fouled back. Count 0-1. William J. Bonomo Memorial Field is our setting. And it was an absolutely gorgeous afternoon earlier today, but it is getting a little breezy out here. And it is getting a little cold. Here's the 0-1. That ball is hit into right field. That's a blooper, and that's going to fall in for a base hit just in front of Tim Feliz. So too far for Jack Ryan, but not far enough for Feliz. So Drury leads off with a bloop single into right field, and that's going to bring up the right fielder Peyton Farina. Last time around, he was hit by a pitch, made it to second base before the following 2 batters, Diaz and Ross, both struck out swinging, so he was unable to advance following second base. That ball is choppered just to Jack Ryan. He goes to second for the force because there was no one at first in time. So that one is going to be a 3-6 fielder's choice to get Drury out, and Farina makes it on a fielder's choice as we just brought up. So 3-6 FC in your scorecards, ladies and gentlemen, for the first out. That's going to bring up the shortstop, Tyshawn Diaz, who, as we did bring up in the last contest, in the last time up, he struck out swinging. But in the last contest, we could still bring that up anyway, he hit a double in his first time up in his debut appearance to the plate, a double into left field. And then he still had 4 more plate appearances after. 2 of those were walks, a run scored. He did hit into a 5-4-3 double play, which really capped off the afternoon for Matt Alifano, who really was playing lights out both offensively and defensively. And something that we did ask head coach Tim Shea about, are you afraid, or not even afraid, but a little suspect of the possibility that your guys could be a few ticks behind in terms of physicality, mentality, game day mode? And he said no, not at all. We just need to get back out onto the field. We need to practice every day, which is what we've been doing. But I don't foresee any of those things happening. And also with 5 players out due to the COVID-19 protocol, next man up, no excuses. Check swing, did he go? He did go, Tyshawn Diaz. And the count being 1-2, chased after that one. Tyshawn Diaz did have a problem with it last time up. Peyton Farina at first. Here's the 1-1 from Luke. Swung on and missed for Diaz, and that is strike 2. So we actually thought over here that it was strike 3. But we resume play at 1-2. Nicholas Luke checks Farina at first. He does not go. Here's the 1-2. Farina goes. Struck out swinging goes Diaz. And Anthony Cipri is unable to hold on. So with Diaz getting his second strikeout of game number 2, Farina gets into second base with a stolen base because Cipri was unable to hold on. That's going to bring up the left fielder Eric Ross, who, as we did bring up earlier, he did strike out swinging. And in the last game, or in the last season, if you will, he only played in 2 games out of a total of 10 games. He played against the defunct, or now defunct, NYIT Bears and at Queens College. Josh Wetman is on deck. Zambito in the hole. Farina at second. Here's the 1-1 from Luke. Called strike, late call by home plate umpire Michael Maliff, and it took a good 2 Mississippi for really him to make that call. Here's the 1-2 from Luke. Struck out swinging. Down on strikes goes Eric Ross to complete the top of the 4th inning. So in this half, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 runner left on base. Let's go to the bottom of the 4th inning, folks. 4, 5, 6 hitters due up. Becker, Matos, Draskin due up when we return on any10now.tv. Adelphi trailing Southern Connecticut State 2 runs to 1. Located just minutes from Adelphi University's Garden City campus, Luigi's Pizzeria of Mineola is an official sponsor of Adelphi Athletics. Enjoy pasta favorites, healthy eats, or a large pie with your family by calling or ordering directly online. Adelphi community members can enjoy a 15% off their bill just by showing their Adelphi ID. Luigi's Pizzeria, quality you can taste. Well, bottom of the 4th inning here, 2-1 in favor of Southern Connecticut State. And right now, due up is Tyler Becker, the shortstop. And the count being 1-0 on Becker. And that one is fouled back. Counts 0-2. That ball is sent into right field, and that ball is off the wall. Rounding first is Becker, and he gets in there with a stand-up double. And Tyler Becker, have a day. This afternoon, he has been on fire. And what a way to lead off the bottom of the 4th inning with the stand-up double. Jose Matos now due up with a runner in scoring position in the bottom half of the 1st inning. He ended that inning, or in the home half of the 1st, with a 6-4-3 double play. So he is 0 for 1 in this game. But in the 1st game, Matos scored 4 runs, 3 walks, flew out to center field Andrew Ainge, and was hit by a pitch as well. Sky-high pop-up for Matos. Bedrzyk on it. He calls everyone off. Good for the first out. That's going to bring up the designated hitter, Michael Draskin, who struck out looking. And home plate umpire Michael Maliff is calling time. Huntington native, half Hollow Hills West, and we continuously bring up NYIT and that is where Draskin came from. He originally committed to NYIT, and then once they folded, his eligibility his freshman eligibility remained. 5'11". Academically, he made it on the honor roll in 2020, in fall of 2020 rather. We'll get you some statistics in a moment. 0-1 pitch from Rogers upcoming. That ball is smacked off of the glove of Diaz, and everyone is safe. Tyshawn Diaz is not having a great afternoon, and we saw it also from when he even stepped into the batter's box that everything confidence-wise looked down, and that could only make it go down even farther. Everyone is safe. Tyler Becker now at third. Draskin on the E6 reaches first, and that brings up Cooper Johnson, who did strike out. And it looks as if we are going to see Draskin. He will be removed for a pinch runner, being freshman shortstop Alex Rendy. So he is now at first. Rogers checks Rendy at first. Let's not forget Rendy was a defensive replacement not only in game number 1 against Felician, but also in the last game against Southern Connecticut State as well. First pitch of the at-bat. Cooper Johnson signals bunt, and Rendy making his name known nice and early with a stolen base, with Josh Wetman not even running or anything. And head coach Dom Scala not happy, trying to figure out what the deal was, if that was a strike or not, and it was. He's not happy with that call from home plate umpire Michael Maliff. Here's the 0-1. Off-speed pitch. Count 1-1. Runners at second and third. Becker at third, with Rendy at second. Swing and a miss for Cooper Johnson. Here's the 1-2. And Cooper Johnson takes that pitch for a ball. Count 2-2. Takes ball 3 down low, and it looked just off the plate. Count runs full, 3-2, with 1 out. Again, Rendy at second. And Becker at third. Energy is igniting in the home dugout. Here's the payoff. Up high, and the bases are loaded. Cooper Johnson is absolutely ecstatic as he works Zach Rogers for a walk, and the bases are loaded with 1 out. That's going to bring up left fielder Nick Gavia, who, again, we've brought up this a whole bunch of times in game number 1, and we don't want to sound like a broken record, but bases were loaded about 4 times at the bare minimum. I think it was about 5 or 6 total. But Gavia did see his fair share of plate appearances with the bases loaded. So this should be about 2 or 3 for the Melville native. Rogers deals. Just outside. Fastball is just into the opposing batter's box. Count is 1-1. Becker at third, Rendy at second, and Cooper Johnson at first. Count is 2-1 right now, and seeing if that dugout, the first base dugout, can spark something or maybe rattle Zach Rogers, who has been a quality go-to guy for head coach Tim Shea, as that one is fouled just in front of the third base dugout. Count 2-2. Here's the 2-2 from Rogers. Foul back. And he continues to keep this at bat alive. Gavia in the second inning. Grounded out to second base. Here's the 2-2. Up high, full count. Nowhere to put Gavia due to the bases loaded. Count runs full to 3-2 with one out. Again, Becker at third, Rendy at second, Cooper Johnson at first. Here's the payoff. That one is hit. Line drive directly to Bedrzyk for the out. What a massive stop for Southern Connecticut State. A massive stop for Southern Connecticut State as that line drive directly to Bedrzyk has given Southern Connecticut a tiny bit of life. Anthony Cipri sends one opposite field into left, and the inning is over. So Southern Connecticut State gets in and out of trouble with the F7. And following 4 full innings of play, no runs on 1 hit, no errors, or rather 1 error, and 3 runners left on base. The 9-1-2 hitters Wetman, Zambito, Bedrzyk due up when we return on Any10Now.tv. 2-1 in favor of Southern Connecticut State. Adelphi Deli is an official sponsor of Adelphi Athletics. Conveniently located on Nassau Boulevard, just minutes from campus, Adelphi Deli prides itself on customer satisfaction and a family atmosphere, all while serving the freshest cold cuts in town. Be sure to stop in and check out their daily specials or to enjoy some of your favorite menu items. Adelphi Deli, Garden City's neighborhood delicatessen. 9-1-2 hitters due up for Southern Connecticut State University. Josh Wetman will lead things off. For those that do not know or did not see game number 1, it looks as if that Mike DiMartino is out for the series, meaning these 2 games, obviously. In the first game in the second inning, or rather the third inning, Mike DiMartino was hit by a pitch by right-handed pitcher Tom Ambrosino, and unfortunately it was not a good thing for Mike DiMartino, who was unable to put any pressure on his ankle following his jog to first base. Following that hit, then it was Mike Ferret who did hit a single into right field, but then following that hit, as DiMartino was trotting to second base, he was unable to complete his run and unable to stand on that foot. Josh Wetman did come in to pinch run, and then also to do the catching duties for the remainder of Game 1, and now in the starting lineup at Game 2. Here's the 1-2 from Luke, and caught on there by Matos. Count is 2-2. So that is why we are now seeing a boatload of Wetman in Games 1 and 2, if you joined us late. Called strike 3. Outside corner. Great job there from Nicholas Luke. And Josh Wetman is down on strikes looking to lead off the top of the 5th inning. Tony Zambito, count 0-1. Right now, and count being 1-1. It's upstairs. Nick Luke, the 2-1. Fouled back. Counted 2-2. Tony Zambito, he did walk in the last time up. He also had a swinging strikeout to open the game, or to open game number 2, rather. Here's the 2-2 from Luke. Outside, count is full at 3-2. Here's the payoff. Check swing. Did he go? He did. Nicholas Luke with his 8th strikeout of the afternoon. So Nicholas Luke with 8 strikeouts. That's going to bring up Zach Bedryzik. That ball was fouled off of the mask, or the helmet of Jose Matos. Bedryzik 1 for 2 with a double, a run scored, and a fly ball out to Cooper Johnson in center. Nicholas Luke coming into the contest with 12 strikeouts. He now has 20 on the season, on the short season, rather. Here's the 0-1. Swing and a miss. As that ball did move. My goodness. Count being 0-2. Ball in the dirt. Count 1-2. With 2 outs, the bases are empty. The 1-2. Just high. And was waiting for that call was Jose Matos. And it looked as if that Bedrzyk, I believe he thought that that could have really been a strikeout as well. Here's the 2-2. Just past, did he go? Asks Michael Maliff to Bob Cardinal, and the aforementioned Cardinal says no. So the count runs full 3-2 with 2 outs. Bases are empty, so no one has to be released off of there. Here's the payoff, and he works a walk. And it looks as if that head coach Dom Scala heads to the mound. Do we think it's a meeting? And yes, it is at one point, and then he gets maybe a couple of more pitches. Nick Luke's day is complete. And coming in from the bullpen is left-handed pitcher Michael Storms. So Bedrzyk works the walk. Head coach Dom Scala makes a call to the bullpen, and we'll be right back on the opposite side of the break to tell you a little bit about Michael Storms. 2-1 in favor of Southern Connecticut State. Head coach Dom Scala makes a call to the bullpen, and he summons sophomore left-handed pitcher Michael Storms. And currently right now in 3 1/3 innings of work in this season, he's got 6 strikeouts, 2 hits allowed, and an opposing batting average of 167 on the season. So he is the 6'3" lefty out of Nesconset and Smithtown East High School. First pitch of the at-bat is high. Count is 1-0. That brings up Andrew Ainge. That ball is hit sky high into right field. Coming in for that one, just in front of the warning track, is Tim Feliz for the final out. And so, with that F9, Michael Storms comes in, one batter, 2 pitches. After 4.5 innings of work, no runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 runner is left on base, being Bedrzyk. Let's go to the bottom of the 5th inning, where it's the top of the order. Alifano, Ryan, and Feliz due up when we return on any10now.tv. Southern Connecticut State with a 2-1 lead heading into the home half of the 5th. Final stat line for Nicholas Luke. He did face 16 batters. He did have a total of 8 strikeouts. He did give up a booming home run to Andrew Ainge, in 4 2/3 innings of work. He gave up 2 earned runs and a game earned run average of 3. He did give up 3 hits, 3 walks, and a double in a total of 88 pitches. So really not a bad outing for Nick Luke, who in the last contest did not have a fantastic game from what we did think was going to be a pretty good one, where in the contest against against St. Thomas Aquinas, there was no anything for Nicholas Luke following a 5-walk second inning against St. Thomas Aquinas, where it was Christopher Conti, Brian Donnelly, Anthony Gonzalez, Joe Scarmadella, and Matthew Johnson all walked in that second inning. And really coming back out, Nicholas Luke being that, and pitching lights out essentially with really only one little blemish on this afternoon. Safe to say it was a fantastic day for him in the interim for Nick Luke. The 1-2 for Alfano. That one is outside. Bottom of the 5th here. 2-1. This second game will be only 7 innings due to it being a doubleheader. Ball's in the dirt from Zach Rogers. This is pitch number 75 for Rogers. Counts fronts full, 3-2. Here's the payoff from Rogers. That ball is hit into right field. That's going to fall into a base hit. That's going to bring up Jack Ryan, who singled into left and scored a run. He also had a walk. Jack Ryan in the last 2 games as well. That ball is bunted high and just behind the bleachers here. Jack Ryan, as we did say earlier, in the first game of these doubleheaders, he catches. And if things go the same exact way for Jack Ryan, and the way that the pattern for head coach Dom Scala goes, is that Jack Ryan will be catching in Game 1, Matos will be catching in Game 2, Warwick will be playing first base, as we see Ryan with a perfect bunt right to Rogers for the 1-3, advances the base runner in Alfano. And that is for the first out of the afternoon. That's going to bring up the right fielder Tim Feliz, the number 3 batter in the order. He singled into shallow right field that, as we did say earlier, was contained by Bedrzyk, and then he also flew out into left field to close out the bottom of the 3rd. Feliz swung on and missed. 79 pitches for Rogers. Alfano at second with one out. Count is 0-1. Off-speed pitch. Tim Feliz not too happy about it. Count is 1-2. That was a called strike there by Michael Maliff. That ball is sent foul. Just behind the opposing team's bullpen. It is getting a little cloudy here and overcast. And it looks as if that, did it hit Tim Feliz? It did not. Count right now at 2-2. And it looks as if that, and Tim Feliz did think that it was 3-2. I think he was looking at the scoreboard, and Tim Feliz did trot down to first, thinking that the scoreboard was correct, but it was incorrect. Now the count runs full at 3-2. Alfano still at second, one runner out, and Feliz back to the bag. And he was looking at it, no doubt about it. So they get the call right. Count is full. Becker on deck. Payoff. Fouled back just behind us. Tim Feliz hanging in. Rogers checks. Steps off the bag. Turns around and checks Alfano at second base. The at-bat continues. Payoff pitch, Alfano goes. Runner goes. Does he get it? That run is in the outfield. Alfano will now head for home, and the game is tied. Josh Wetman with a throw that unfortunately went into left field, and the game is now tied at 2 apiece. Wow, what of a turn of events here from William J. Bonomo Memorial Field. As some of the defensive struggles for Southern Connecticut State continue. As Alfano got the run, and that will be error number 2 on the afternoon. And Tim Feliz he worked a walk anyway, so now that's going to bring up the cleanup hitter and shortstop Tyler Becker, who, again, as we've said, he's 2 for 2 in this game alone, and he's also hit 2 home runs in the contest. Again, any 10, if you're listening and watching to this, yeah, if you're listening and watching this Northeast Conference 10, this is a big deal. This is a big deal here. Shortstop for Adelphi, doing some work. Here's the 0-1 from Rogers. That ball is high. Wetman looks for it. Does he get it? He does. And Becker with the P2. So now Jose Matos is 0 for 2 in this contest. In the last one, was 0 for 1 with 6 plate appearances, but he reached base on 3 walks, a hit by a pitch, and an error into left field, and he scored 4 runs. Fastball high. Counts 1-0. Game is now tied at 2. And it looks as if that we will see a pinch hitter due up in just a moment. Matos takes strike 1. Count is 2-2. And it looks as if that we will see a pinch hitter in Nick Lopez. Will most likely be making his NCAA debut next batter up. His first time in the on-deck circle. That ball is fouled back. Matos gets plunked. On the thigh. And it looks as if that we will be getting this pinch hitter. And we're going to see a trip to the mound for Zach Rogers. So Matos is also coming out. And Anthony Foti will be the pinch runner at first. And we also have, obviously, we did say the pinch runner at first being Anthony Foti, but we also have a memorable moment for the family of Nick Lopez watching, the Port Jeff Station native, and he is making his first collegiate at-bat. So for those that are watching that are related to Nick Lopez, congratulations. Sophomore, 5'11", and his first pitch was a ball. We'll get to a few of his statistics in a moment from high school. Counts 1-1. Academically, made the academic excellence of the NE10 academic honor roll in the fall of 2020. He was also an honor roll recipient as well in the academic distinction department spring of 2020 as well. He was unable to play last season due to, obviously, the COVID-19 pandemic, so he didn't play in the shortened season. And when he was in high school, he was a two-time All-League selection. He was a Gold Glove finalist for Suffolk County and a career .385 batting average in high school, member of the National Honor Society, and he majors in criminal justice, and he plans to go to law school following graduation. The 2-1 count. Zach Rogers is still at bat. Ball is popped up into foul territory, and Eric Ross unable to get there. Count runs 2-2. Nick Lopez's debut continues. Here's the 2-2. That one is smacked right up the middle, in for a base hit past Zach Rogers. Coming around to score is Tim Feliz, and the Adelphi University Panthers take a 3-2 lead. What an at-bat for sophomore Nick Lopez as he's able to get his NCAA debut underway in fantastic fashion. One at-bat, one hit, one RBI, and that will do it for Zach Rogers, and the Panthers take a 3-2 lead. How great is that, folks? That really is great. As Zach Rogers' day is complete. And it looks as if that we will be seeing a pitching change, and a few words are exchanged between the Southern Connecticut State dugout and the Adelphi dugout. But right now, scoreboard watchers, 3-2 in favor of the Panthers. Tim Shea makes a call to the bullpen. We will be right back on the opposite side of this break. Do not go away. So head coach Tim Shea makes a call to the bullpen, and he summons freshman right-handed pitcher Mike Zerma from Beacon Falls, Connecticut, 6'3", 200-pound right-handed pitcher. And this is also his collegiate debut as well, and something that head coach Tim Shea did say on National Letter of Intent Day, quote, Mike knows how to pitch. His above-average curveball complements his mid-80s fastball, and he has more in the tank. He shows great composure on the mound and is not afraid to compete. He also excels in the classroom where he is a member of the National Honor Society. He is well prepared to come in and have the opportunity to compete for innings on the mound. Mike is a great addition to our team and university. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that does now bring up the aforementioned Surma on the mound. But in the batter's box, it brings up Cooper Johnson. And if you are just joining us, the Adelphi Panthers have taken a 3-2 lead off of the first ever hit and first ever at bat from Nick Lopez. So really a cool moment for all of us viewing the game here, but also all of you watching at home as well. Count 1-0 on Cooper Johnson. Surma on the mound. Runners on first and second. Pitch just outside, but home plate umpire Bob Cardinal does call that a strike. Just want to say for all of those that are watching, Bob Cardinal, Michael Maliff, that is my fault. I apologize there. Bob Cardinal, the home plate umpire. Michael Maliff, the first base umpire in this game with Nick Thull at third. Cooper Johnson swings and misses, with the count being 1-2. The 1-2 in the dirt, picked up there by Wetman. Foti is at second. And Foti replaces Matos. Don't know the defensive alignment just yet, but I'm sure we'll get that shortly. Here's the 2-2. Count runs full at 3-2 with 2 away. That will release the runners. Surma checks Foti at second. Bottom of the 5th inning. It's 3-2. Panthers lead. Game 2. It's a 7-inning game. Runners go. Cooper Johnson fouls that one back. Nick Gavia doing his thing, showing very good sportsmanship out of the on-deck circle. Handing the ball to home plate umpire Bob Cardinal. Here's the payoff. Just outside, Cooper Johnson works a walk. And for those that remember, in the last inning, when Cooper Johnson had a fantastic at-bat, he also worked a walk that eventually loaded the bases. Unfortunately, nothing could come from it. But once again, the bases are loaded. This time, again, for Nick Gavia. We did say earlier about, 8, 9 times of bases loaded? Well, this would be about 9 or 10. Foti at third, Lopez at second, Johnson at first, Gavia at the dish. Counts 1-0. Surma having a little bit of a difficult time in his collegiate debut. Ball is sent high and foul, just in front of Eddie Hall. Foti is now out. And it looks as if that we will be getting another base runner. And that will be junior shortstop Robert Afanetta, the third, who will be coming into pinch run. So head coach Dom Scala making some changes. Some base running changes. So now that makes it with that ball is sent into center field. That's Ainge, and everybody is done. And that was actually rather Lopez that was sent back. So Fody was in there because he's 34. So just to clarify that to everybody, that's my fault there. Lopez was the one that was taken out. And we're going to see a change. And we will give you all of that shortly in just a moment as we head to the top of the sixth inning. Lots of changes when we return on any10now.tv. Adelphi with a 3-2 lead off of the bat of Nick Lopez. So back here in the top of the sixth inning, it is 3-2 in favor of Adelphi, and that change that we just heard from home plate umpire Bob Cardinal is Brandon Warwick will be taking over the catching duties for Jose Matos, and Mike Ferret will be leading things off for Southern Connecticut State. The 4-5-6 hitters Ferret, Drury, and Farina are up for the Owls. In the last half inning, as we did say, was that 3 runners were left on base following the flyout from Nick Gavia. And unfortunately, things were unable to commence following yet another trio of runners on the base path being left on. And in this game alone, that's 8 runners that are left on base. Here's the 2-2. Ball's in the dirt. Secured there by Warwick. Count is now runs full at 3-2 with Storms on the mound. That ball is hit right to Becker. Becker to Ryan. Nice, easy 6-3. Ferret, 1 out. It's going to bring up the first baseman, Jack Drury, with a bloop single into right field. And also, he was caught stealing. Or rather, excuse me, he was caught in a 3-6 fielder's choice by Farina in the 4th inning. And then he also grounded out to first base in the second inning to open that one up. Fastball high. Sky high. Trying to figure it out. Alfano calls everyone off. It looks as if that Michael Storms did lose it. And then Warwick, well, then he called Alfano for the second out. That's going to bring up the right fielder, Peyton Farina. Right fielder, as we did say, he did hit into a 3-6 fielder's choice. He also had a stolen base. And in his first plate appearance, he was hit by a pitch and made it to second base. 0-1. Just think the outside corner. Breaking ball in there for a called strike. Count 0-2 with 2 away. My goodness, Michael Storms. That one just fell right in there. Perfect strike. Sky high pop up. Warwick trying to track it down. Cannot. And just behind the statistics tent. We try again. Here's the 0-2. Just outside and high. Counts 1-2. In the dirt, saved there by Warwick. 2-2 with 2 away. That ball is hit high into left field, but will drop foul into the trees beyond the 328 marker. Here's the 2-2 once more. Breaking ball, called strike 3, and the inning is done. My goodness, what a breaking ball in there for Michael Storms. No runs, no hits, no errors, no one left on base. Let's go to the bottom of the 6th inning. For Adelphi, they lead 3-2, and the 9-1-2 hitters, Cipri, Alfano, Ryan, due up when we return on any10now.tv. We will see some changes shortly, we presume, as Tim Shea speaks with home plate umpire Bob Cardinal. Core Life Eatery provides new, clean, healthy, and great-tasting food to everyone every day. They feature hearty bowls that are complete meals in themselves, featuring greens, grains, and bone broths. Adelphi members can enjoy 10% off each visit with a valid ID on all dine-in purchases. Core Life Eatery, passionate people providing powerful food. So a change defensively for head coach Tim Shea as he brings in pitcher who is actually, as we did bring up earlier in our little story, pitcher Derek Jagello to replace the third baseman in Mike Ferret. Why is he replacing him? Because in the quote that we brought up earlier that was released on National Letter of Intent Day, he is the #1 pitcher for his high school team as well as their shortstop. He has power potential at the plate and can also hit for average. I can envision him competing for playing time at multiple infield positions as well as seeing time on the mound. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That is why you normally do not see, if you are an avid Adelphi watcher, you do see the opposing team able to play third base or even any position as well as on the mound. So that's why Derek Jagello will be replacing Mike Ferret. So pretty good stuff there. That is going to bring up Anthony Cipri, who's 0 for 2 on the afternoon in Game 2. Grounded to third base and flew out to left field as he sends this one into shallow left. And that one is going to be out of play. And we continue, count being 1-2. So new infield look for Southern Connecticut State is from third base to first, Jagello, Diaz, Bedrzyk, Drury, for those that are keeping score at home. The count being 1-2. Surma still on the mound. Count being 2-2. Alfano. That's a little talk from head coach Tom Scala. Here's the 2-2 from Surma. That ball's choppered down the right field line. That's going to get past Drury in for a base hit into right field. And bobbling that baseball is the right fielder Farina. He is going to round second and get to third base sliding. And that one is a sliding triple for Anthony Cipri to lead off the bottom of the 6th inning. My goodness, that is a gorgeous hit from the sophomore second baseman out of Middle Village. So it looks as if that is how they are going to call it. They're going to call it a single. That's definitely a hit. But the error then comes into play when the right fielder, Peyton Farina, bobbles the baseball in foul territory in right field, because that would have most likely been just a single, and then that that would have been a double, but he did get that because of the throwing error. So I would presume that would be a double and then the error there. So we'll leave it that way. But runner in scoring position to try and for Matt Alfano to try and give Adelphi an insurance run. Bottom of the 6th inning, no outs, counts 1-1. Just upstairs. Count 2-1. It is getting cloudy here in Garden City. Here's the 2-2 from Surma. Change up and Matt Alfano. Trying to get that, or a piece of that. just trying to, home plate umpire Bob Cardinal trying to just take the baseball from Surma, make sure that that is good to go. Count runs 2-2. Cypri at third following the double and the advance to third on the throwing error, or on the error by Southern Connecticut State. Alfano takes ball 3. Here's the payoff. Down and outside. Good for a walk for Matt Alfano. Looks as if that the day for Mike Zerma is complete. Head coach Tim Shea comes out to the bump and most likely grabs that one away from Zerma, and does. And we will be seeing a brand new pitcher in junior right-handed pitcher Tommy Hughes out of Valley Stream, making his homecoming, if you will. We'll get you some statistics shortly when we return on Any10Now.tv. Adelphi with a 3-2 lead and one runner in scoring position. So head coach Tim Shea makes a call to the bullpen, and he summons junior right-handed pitcher Tommy Hughes out of Valley Stream and Valley Stream High School. 6'2", 265-pound righty. And his ERA from last season in 4 2/3 innings of work, 3.86, with 5 strikeouts, and his opposing batting average, or the opposing batting average for the batters he's faced, is an average of 188. He's only allowed 3 hits last season, but again, a small sample size will give you the 2019 version. 14 games played, 1 of those were starts, 2-3 win-loss record with a 5 ERA and 28 strikeouts in 27 innings pitched. But on the flip side for Adelphi University, this is Jack Ryan due up with Alfano at first, Cypri at third. Runners on the corners, 1 runner in scoring position. 3-2 is the score, and Jack Ryan trying to get 1 more run in here to maybe secure some good things for Adelphi. Thinking about checking his swing, Jack Ryan holds on that one, count 1-0. Pitch high, counts 2-0. Swing and foul tipped into the glove of Wetman. Still no outs. Jack Ryan at the dish. 2-1. Cypri at third. Breaking ball. Swing and a miss. Jack Ryan fooled at that one. Here's the 2-2. And it looks as if that Jack Ryan had to ask if he got plunked, and it looked as if that he did. Bob Cardinal says yes, he did get plunked. Now, I don't think Josh Wetman liked that, and head coach Tim Shea is not happy about it as he just flicks his hand in disgust. And catcher Josh Wetman is not happy about it either. So we'll mark that down as a hit by pitch, and once again, folks, the bases are loaded, this time with nobody out. That brings up Tim Feliz, who singled to shallow right field earlier. Worked a walk, a run scored, and flew out to left field for Eric Ross. Changeup does not fall in. Count 1-0. Fastball, strike right down the middle for Hughes. Tim Feliz takes that one. 2-1 is the count. Bases loaded. Cipri at third, Alifano at second, Jack Ryan at first. That ball is choppered into right field for a base hit. Coming around to score is Cipri, and Alifano jogs in for the second run to score as well. Coming around third is Jack Ryan. He is in there, and Tim Feliz with a 2 RBI single gives Adelphi a 5-2 lead. So Cipri scores, Alifano scores, and Jack Ryan to third, and Feliz with the RBI, 2 RBI single into right, and that is going to bring up the hottest man on the afternoon, being Tyler Becker, who's 2 for 3 in this game, but he also contributed a pair of home runs in game number 1 that really made the difference before Matt Alifano hit that grand slam to put the bow on the game. Tyler Becker, foul ball. Runners on the corners. Ryan at third, Feliz at first. Becker takes that one, and he knew that that one was a strike, or possibly thought that maybe it was on the outside corner. Count 0-2. Just nicked the outside corner, rather. Still no outs. 5-2. Adelphi leads. That ball is hit directly to Tyshawn Diaz. That one, 6 unassisted, and the throwing error. Jack Ryan comes in to score and extends the lead for Adelphi, 6-2. So Jack Ryan scores. Tim Feliz is out alone, and Tyler Becker will reach first base. And let's see what that will be called. That will be called a fielder's choice on a 6 unassisted. So 1 out, and that will bring up Brandon Warwick, the new catcher. Warwick fouls that one. Toward Robert Afanetta. Counts 1-1. The 1-1. Runner goes. Wetman, a throw. Does he get him? He does. The throw is in time, and the tag is in time by Bedrzyk. And Becker is caught stealing for the second out. A 3-run bottom of the 6th here from William J. Bonomo Memorial Field. With now 2 outs, the count 1-2. Hughes called strike 3. Warwick on the inside corner is down looking. So with that being said, now with 3 outs, we head to the top of the 7th. This is going to be last licks for Southern Connecticut State. After 6 full innings of work, 3 runs on 2 hits, 1 error, and 1 runner is left on base. Or rather, excuse me, no runners left on base. Let's head to the top of the 7th inning with Diaz, Ross, Wetman due up, the 7, 8, 9 hitters when we return on any10now.tv. The Adelphi University Department of Athletics is pleased to announce the launch of its new online store, www.adelphipanthersgear.com, through a partnership with Advanced Online and Follett. Adelphi Panthers Gear features a wide range of clothing and merchandise featuring all of Adelphi's new branding marks. Parents, alumni, and students can all enjoy these items through a secure online ordering system and have the items shipped directly to their door within 5 business days. Check out Adelphi Panthers Gear today. Once again, that's www.adelphipanthersgear.com. Visiting half and last licks for the Southern Connecticut State Owls. That's going to bring up Tyshawn Diaz, the shortstop, in his 2 appearances at the plate in game number 2. He's had 2 swinging strikeouts. And right now, left-handed pitcher Michael Storms is behind in the count 2-1. On deck is Eric Ross. And Tyshawn Diaz says a couple of words we won't be repeating on the air. Swing and a miss. Count runs full at 3-2. Here's the payoff. Down on strikes goes Tyshawn Diaz. And 3 consecutive strikeouts swinging in this contest for the shortstop Diaz. And it looks as if that we will have a pinch hitter in Isaiah Walker. We have not seen in this contest. We'll give you some stats from the last game. So Isaiah Walker comes in for Eric Ross. And we have to remember, folks, that yes, it is the top of the 7th inning, 6-2, but Southern Connecticut State far from out of it. And Isaiah Walker in the last game, he also was the pitcher as well. He hit a single into center field in the 5-run 9th last game in their attempted comeback. Single into center, run scored, hit by pitch, a walk, a double into center, and also he flew out to Tim Feliz to start the afternoon in Game 1. Josh Wetman on deck. Here's the 1-2. Breaking ball could not come back. Count being 2-2 with 1 out. Base path is clear. Swing and a miss. Down on strikes goes Isaiah Walker. And Southern Connecticut State is down to their final out. And Josh Wetman being their last line of defense. Josh Wetman in this contest, 2 strikeouts. First one being a swinging strikeout and the second one looking. First pitch from Michael Storms is a called strike. And as we did say, Wetman replaced 6th-year senior Mike DiMartino due to injury in Game 1 in the top of the 3rd inning. Foul back into the on-deck circle. Southern Connecticut State, the Owls are down to their final strike. 6-2 in favor of Adelphi. Let's see if Michael Storms can close this out. Here's the 0-2. Outside. Fastball outside. Aggressive pitch. Count 1-2. That ball is skied bloop into third base, into the glove of Matt Alifano. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is a Saturday sweep. A Saturday sweep, and for the first time in my tenure here, we get to hear New York play over the loudspeakers. Adelphi University with a 6-2 victory in Game 2 and a Game 1 victory of 19-11. Adelphi University snaps a 4-game skid, and the team is absolutely ecstatic, pumped up, and they are ready to go to their next series in a 4-game set against University of New Haven as they start this season, or this conference season, 2-0. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes as we get set to speak with Tyler Becker, the star of the game here from William J. Bonomo Memorial Field. We'll be right back in just a few seconds. Back here from William J. Bonomo Memorial Field, we are live with shortstop Tyler Becker. Tyler, in the first game, you hit really the game-winning home run, and you also hit a two-run shot following. Talk about your performance in the last game and really what was going through your mind when you hit those two home runs.
Yeah, I was just trying to get it going. You know, we've had a slow start as a team, but we knew that if we turned it around today, it was going to be big for us. And honestly, the whole lineup came out swinging today, and it felt good for all of us and me to get it going and score some runs.
Yeah, you know, it's very funny because head coach Dom Scala just a couple of days ago, he did say, quote, Adelphi baseball is not built to be embarrassed. And last week, you guys were outscored 21-5 against St. Thomas Aquinas in your non-conference closing two games. Talk about what head coach Dom Scala has done for you guys in this entire series, or even the week leading up to the NE10 home opener.
The week leading up, we had a lot of good practices, got a lot of swings in to help the lineup out. We even got an inner squad in, which really helped us get going for the pitchers and the hitters. And all in all, the practices were great. We brought a lot of energy, and it showed today when we carried it over.
A fantastic showing for you, Tyler, and for your whole squad. Looking ahead with one little question against University of New Haven, what do you have to say to your team to get ready against them, even though it is about a week away? How do you keep the momentum going?
We got to bring the same energy every day to practice that we've had all week and bring the same energy into the games next weekend when we go to New Haven. It'll be a fun series, and I'm looking forward to it.
Tyler, congratulations on the two-game sweep, and we will see you next Saturday at University of New Haven.
All right, thank you.
Now, that was Tyler Becker, ladies and gentlemen. Really, really good there as he was leading the way with two home runs on the afternoon in game number one. He hit a two-run shot. He also hit a solo shot into center field. He also had a few runs scored as well. And also in game number two, he hit a single into right. He also hit a double into center. He was on fire today. And following his one error in the beginning of the contest, he came back and made sure that he was able to redeem his team. Great job there from Adelphi all around, and a 6-2 victory to conclude our Saturday afternoon here from William J. Bonomo Memorial Field. Ladies and gentlemen, one final time, 19-11 the final from game number one, and 6-2 a final in game number two, both with Adelphi claiming victory in both. For my whole production crew, Ian Schreier doing the statistics, my good friend, head coach Dom Scala, and the entire crew here at Adelphi University, I'm Joey Jarzinka, and for all of us, we'll see you next time.